Hello and welcome to WEEP instructional videos. My name is Stephanie, and today we're going to learn some tools to navigate around our schematic and to easily edit it. I'm going to start by zooming in. Now you know that when you click and draw a rectangle with your mouse, that will zoom you in. But if you're zooming in on a really busy area and you're worried about moving something, you can use the Control key, and that will enable you to zoom in without moving anything on the schematic. Now that I'm zoomed in, I'm going to use a different key, the Alt key, to draw another type of rectangle. So pressing Alt and then clicking with my mouse, I draw a rectangle that shows up in red. If I right-click within this rectangle, I have the option to delete all the objects in this group. So that's a helpful way to edit. I can also clean up my schematic a little bit. Say that I only wanted to look at the demand sites. I could get rid of that river at the bottom and the catchments and the other supply. And you can see that all of the linkages connecting them to the demand sites disappear. Also, I'll get rid of the wastewater treatment plant. Now, using the Alt key again, I'll draw that same red rectangle. And I'm going to move my demand sites by clicking within the rectangle and dragging down. Now if I turn on the elements that I turned off earlier, they'll still be in the same place. Zooming out again, I'll show you a few different ways to zoom in. If you have a mouse with a scroll wheel, you can hover it over the place that you're interested in and use the scroll wheel to zoom in, and it will automatically focus on that place. You can also zoom out that way. You can also use the Control key to zoom in 5 times faster. Pressing Shift while you click allows you to pan. Zooming out again, let's talk about the labels that we use on our WEEP elements. Zooming in again, I can see several different labels here. Here's one that's sort of long. If I right-click on the demand site and go to General Info, I have the option to use a semicolon for a line break. So I can put that right before the word indoor, finish, and it shows up on a different line. This can help you organize your schematic. You can also right-click and go to Move Label. The label will become attached to your mouse, and you can move it up until you have it in the position where you want it, and click. The nodes right now are pretty small in this view. Maybe I want to make them larger. I'll go to Schematic and say Set WEEP Node Size. And I can make them a little bit bigger so they're easier to see. I can do the same thing for the node label size, which maybe I want a little smaller. Zooming out again, I'll zoom into the top part of my screen, and I'll notice that there's a bend in the transmission links on the right. If I wanted to do that to the left as well, I just click with my mouse and drag down. Now I've created a point in my transmission link, which might make your model easier to look at. If I want to get rid of that point, dragging it back isn't enough. Look what happens. Drag it back, that looks good. But now if I move it somewhere else, we can see that that point is still there. So what we have to do is right-click and say Delete Point. So I'll do that for both. Lastly, if you want, you can lock the schematic so that as you navigate around, you don't risk moving anything. To do that, go to Schematic and Lock Schematic. This has been a WEEP instructional video. Good luck with your models.